Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. We're getting close to the end of our series on the 9 attitudes of mindfulness-based stress reduction. We're coming to the supplemental attitudes, and the ones that John Kabat-Zinn added after he finished Full Catastrophe Living. So you won't find these last 2 attitudes in the book, but he does add them on eventually in a couple of talks that he's had. And these last 2 attitudes are gratitude and generosity. So let's just walk through the 9 attitudes once again. So non-judging, patience, beginner's mind. I'm afraid like little things are going to start popping up on my screen. Trust, non-striving, acceptance, letting go, gratitude, and generosity are the 9 attitudes. And so if you've missed any of them, I've recorded them all and put them on YouTube, so you can feel free to go back and revisit some of those. I've done, for this time around, for most of them, I've read directly out of Full Catastrophe Living, so you can kind of see in Full Catastrophe Living what John Kabat-Zinn has to say about each one of these attitudes, and a little bit of my own personal commentary about it. So just want to remind you, all of that's there to take a look at. Today's attitude that we're going through is gratitude. So gratitude is accessible all the time, and it really is an antidote to some of the negative thinking that we have. And let's explore why we think negatively. It's because we are concerned about our well-being, and it's one way to, we're always as human beings trying to make our lives better, and so it's natural, and it's an evolutionary response as well to see what it is that could potentially be a threat. I mean, what we'd like, from an evolution kind of standpoint, is our chance of death to be 0, right? And we want to make everything as pleasant and as wonderful as possible. And so it's inside of our DNA to scan around for threats. Like, what is it that could potentially harm me? What is going to make my life worse? And to focus on that, and to not only think about it, but possibly consider as well ways to make that go away. And so what can potentially happen is that we end up completely fixated on all of these negative things, all the things that aren't going right in our lives, and end up having health issues because of it. And so that's kind of what's interesting, and something that I do try to focus on here in these talks, is that this old programming that's inside of our cells is very useful for things that have happened like 500, 1,000 years ago and before, but now, especially in the last 100 years, right? There's so much rapid change in the human experience that this kind of old hardware isn't really up to speed as to what we need. Like, we need a new, even though we've got the new software, we're still running it on this old, 286 kind of PC. For people who remember what a 286 PC is. So like a very slow piece of hardware trying to load the newest software on. It's hard to do. It doesn't really work as well. And so, what can we do is through awareness, be aware that this is happening, and see if, instead of focusing, is it possible? Is it possible to stop our minds from thinking about the negative things? I think that's really one of these challenges that we tackle a lot in the meditation practice. As we meditate, we see that we do not have control over our minds. That our minds, without our consent, move away from what it is that we're trying to do, and often go to those negative things that we're potentially trying to avoid. So, so what possible solution is there? One of them is gratitude. So we know that our minds tend to think about the negative things. Is it possible for us to intentionally remember the things that have gone right, and to see, in fact, that 95% of things are going well? And, I think one of the first things that we can be grateful for is that we are alive. If you are listening to me right now, you are alive. The systems inside of your body, no matter what you believe the condition of your body to be, there is more right with you than wrong with you, because this is not a simple thing that's happening right now. The chemical reactions that are going on right now, the way the immune system works. I mean, if you want to look at just one thing, like look at how your immune system works. It's extremely complicated and kind of always on, teetering on the edge of destroying your own body. There's some kind of odd intelligence that we don't fully understand happening in the immune system. These systems are all working. We're alive right now, and that's for our place in scientific understanding right now. It's still a miracle. It's still to the point that we don't fully understand how it all works, and so that's one thing among others to be grateful for. And we don't have to compare our lives to people around the world, but if you do take a look at the situations that are going on in the world, and you're comfortably sitting in your living room or bedroom or wherever you happen to be right now watching this broadcast, then your life is better off than a significant number of people in the world. And sometimes that can be hard to hear. Our problems feel very, very huge and very insurmountable. And I know what depression feels like. It can feel really overwhelming, and even the knowledge that I'm having a bunch of negative thoughts doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that I can instantly make them all disappear. And I think that that's important to acknowledge as well. Like, if you're in the midst of depression or lots of negative thinking, and you think that just going into a journal and journaling things that you're grateful for is going to instantly fix everything, I think hopefully we have the maturity to understand that that's not something that happens. But there is research to show that gratitude does have a powerful effect, and not only a powerful effect on our mental state, but also our physical state. That, in fact, remembering to be grateful, there have been studies like by Harvard, write a thank you note to someone that you have never that you haven't expressed gratitude for. Or another study where a group of people write a gratitude journal, another group write things that they are annoyed with, and another group writes about random things. And the people who wrote things every day that they're grateful for there was a measurable positive impact on their health. So it's more than just mental, that it really has a holistic effect on the body if we can remember to be grateful for the things that we have. So what can you be grateful for? And some of this stuff that you just forget about. Clean drinking water. I'm not thirsty. And by the way, Ramadan just started about 6 days ago, I think. And so this is one of those holidays, I guess, to put in quotes, that I appreciate because of the fact that it's a reminder of, hey, what's it feel like to be hungry? What's it feel like to be thirsty? So sometimes we kind of forget that, and that reminder of what it feels like to be hungry or thirsty gives us a bit more gratitude that I have clean drinking water, I have food to eat, I have clean air to breathe, and and whatever else. And of course, I use these because they're something that we all have and we all can relate to. And of course, your life, there's probably more. You probably have at least one person that loves you unconditionally in your life. Maybe you don't. Maybe you struggle to find that. But I think there are lots of things that we can look at besides these common. One, we can look at our common basic needs and whether and how those are met, and and begin to look beyond that. Look at Maslow's hierarchy. What level of fulfillment, and to see that actually a lot of this stuff at the bottom's really important. So, welcome everybody. It's nice to see you, Tootie from Egypt. Welcome Cece, Nadine, Robin, Key, Ruby. No worries about being late. We're going to go ahead and get started into our period of meditation. And as usual, I'd just like to bring today's theme into the meditation. If you can try being grateful for each breath. Because you don't know that another breath is coming. There's no guarantee that after you exhale this time, that something isn't going to happen. You never know. So at the end of this exhale, I can be grateful for this inhale. So get comfortable. Feel free to allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Chin roughly parallel to the floor. Feel free to stretch out a little bit. Roll the head. Roll the shoulders. See if you can allow the eyebrows and the forehead to relax. Allow the rest of the muscles in the face to relax as best you can. Again, not forcing relaxation, acknowledging whatever tension is there, and through that acknowledgement, maybe it goes away, maybe it does not. If you find tension in your jaw, you can intentionally part your teeth. Allow the lower jaw to move away so there's a slight gap between your top teeth and your bottom teeth. Allowing the lips to close, if possible for you today, so that you can breathe entirely through your nose. And as this breath comes in, can I be grateful for this breath? Acknowledge that this breath is coming in and that this breath is here for me right now to nourish my body in this moment. So as best you can, focusing your attention on these physical sensations of breathing, allowing the present moment experience to be here. to use the physical sensations in this body to ground your mind into this moment. The physical body as an anchor into the now. Fully present with observing how the body expands as we breathe in. How the body releases and contracts as we breathe out. Each time you find your mind wandering off, thinking about something, just gently letting go as best you can and coming back to observing the physical sensation of breath. And so now perhaps we have cultivated some stability in the present moment. And so I'd just like to invite you to bring into mind some basic need that you're grateful for. I'm thankful that I have clean water to drink. I'm thankful that there is food in my refrigerator, in my pantry, that I have enough cat food to feed Frank, so whatever else comes to mind. And then how about things that make you feel comfortable? Something that makes you feel comfortable that you are grateful that you have. Something that maybe can help you. You're feeling stressed or feeling down. or something that assists in your meditation practice. I'm thankful for my meditation cushion. And I find my mind just keeps moving. I'm trying to stay in physical objects, but I keep moving to relationships. So, relationships that you're grateful for. My meditation teachers. My family. My children. My parents. So whoever else shows up for you. Maybe people who support you unconditionally. Maybe there are some friends as well that maybe not good friends, but have some purpose in your life, maybe cheer you up in their personality or whatever. Just allowing your mind to go to those people that you're grateful for in your life, those relationships that are nurturing and helpful for you. And so maybe even using some words to express your gratitude. And it couldn't be in your mind. If you feel comfortable, you can even say it out loud. I am grateful for, just to solidify that gratitude. I am grateful for Frank the meditation cat. See if you can do that 5 or 6 times, just changing that object each time. And who knows, as you explore, what is going to come up, what's going to pop into your mind. And now whatever you're thinking of, just encourage you to, as best you can, let go of that, release that, come back to observing the breath. And as you do you feel any emotion? What was it that came up as you were expressing gratitude? Focusing on these breaths and noticing how the body and the mind change moment to moment as we keep our attention fully focused on the physical sensation of breath. And now it's time for us to begin drawing our practice to its close. I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. I'm grateful for you, my Insight Timer audience. It's great to have you guys here today. And hopefully this was a useful little practice for you. Just a little bit different. And I think I'd challenge you as a homework assignment. Can you, for a few days, keep up some kind of gratitude practice? So find a way, maybe make it a part of your daily meditation. At the end of your daily meditation, get out a book, do some writing, a gratitude journal if that's feeling good for you. Otherwise, make it part of your meditation, just to remember some of the things that you're grateful for, and see how that can shift your attitude. So I know it's so easy to get caught up in all the negative things. So is it possible instead to have a look? So how did your practice go today? Feel free to write in the chat. And anything else you want to share about what you're grateful for, if you like, anything at all, before we close our practice today. Hi, William. Thank you, Micah. Thanks, Sybil. As I say, grateful to have you all here to practice with. It's great to have this little this practice group for us to be here and practice together, and hopefully improve ourselves as the days, the weeks, the months, the years go on, and we keep it up. So I keep reaching over here because I've got the Frank the meditation cat is over here. Should do one of those animated things where I animate his face and make him one of those talking animals. Thanks, Cece. Thank you for your donation. Grateful to be more relaxed one day at a time. Thanks, Caesar. And yeah, this is it, right? I like to think about my yoga practice. All right, I'm flexible today, and then tomorrow I'm not as flexible, and I go, hey, what's up? Why am I less flexible on this day than I was the previous day? And then I say, well, maybe I'm not, just like relaxation. Caesar's saying more relaxed one day at a time. I just want to remind you that it doesn't mean that you have a constant relaxation, that I'm getting more and more and more relaxed, that you don't have a few, it's kind of like the net, the net benefit is that I'm more relaxed, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be more relaxed every single, I'm going to be more relaxed today than I was yesterday necessarily. So thanks, Caesar. Thanks, everybody. Grateful for my 2 best friends, says Sybil. Thanks for sharing. Grateful for Insight Timer and community. So am I. Thanks, Blossom Violet. Okay. Next is generosity. So I'll come back on Thursday. And then just to let you know, I'm heading, it's spring break. My kids are going to be on spring break. We came from Hong Kong. I'm here in Singapore now, but we lived in Hong Kong for 10 years. And so we're taking spring break back to go back there, visit friends, and do some of our old habit things. Have our normal Sunday breakfast and things like that. So I'll be gone for a little while, at least a week off. And we'll come back after that, and I'll post here shortly before the week's out. I'll post the what the timing of the next events are going to be. Nadine, that's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll bump into you again in Wan Chai. Go have a cup of coffee. But unfortunately, I have a kind of a full schedule. But if you happen to be in Hong Kong, and this is the invitation to everybody, if you happen to be in Hong Kong next week, let me know. Maybe we'll schedule some meetup. All right, do take care. Lots of love, everybody. Remember to practice gratitude, as it is very powerful in kind of redirecting our mind from the automatic clinging to the negative stuff. Let's send out our well wishes before we go. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all life on earth and throughout the universe, may we all be happy and peaceful. Thanks for your well wishes. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.